Hey guys, welcome back. It's Banana Cooler back again with another video. I'm going to try to be more consistent with them. Again, getting a lot of great feedback, lots of comments, likes, lots of views. So thank you everybody for that. Make sure you subscribe and like this one as well. Today I'm going to review my top 5 defensive backs of all time in the NFL. I've always been a big fan of this position. I think it's one of the most important positions in all of football. And, it's tough to get it down to the top 5, and I'm sure there'll be lots of discussion on this one. You might have an idea of one of my players in the top 5 just from the background here, but I'll try to be as objective as possible. And, I hope you enjoy the video, guys. Hey guys, let's get this show started, and we're starting off number 5 with a defensive back that would put the fear of God into wide receivers and other players alike. If you were coming across the middle, you did not want to see this guy coming at you. The legendary Mike Haynes. Mike played for the Patriots as well as the Raiders, and he played in a time where receivers were allowed to use stickum, so you could get the substance on your hands to help you catch the ball. And Mike was a legend at dislodging the ball with massive hits. Like I said, just a great player. His number was retired with both the Patriots organization and the Raiders organization. He won 1 Super Bowl, was an All-Pro 8 times, was Defensive Rookie of the Year in 1976 and Defensive Player of the Year in 1984. And more importantly, like I said, the bringer of nightmares and a fantastic player. Him and Lester Hayes were a great duo for the Raiders. One of the best defensive back tandems ever in football. And just a great player to watch, and a scary guy to see coming at you. So, number 5. All right, guys, we have the 4th in our top 5. Coming in at number 4, I have Ed Reed. Now, Ed played safety. He played safety for the Ravens, the Texans, and the Jets. But you'll remember Ed Reed on, a player on the top 3, one of the top 3 defenses of all times. That Ravens defense was stacked, with Ed, Ray Lewis, lots of great players on that team. Ed Reed would definitely do his best to dislodge the ball from someone. Just a massive hitter. A great player in college too. He played with the Hurricanes, and just so much talent, so much skill. He had 64 INTs in his career. Legendary guy. He was inducted in the Hall of Fame in 2019. He won 1 Super Bowl with the Ravens, 8-time All-Pro, and 2004 Defensive Player of the Year as well. He had a couple of records. He has the most INT return yards in NFL history. I think he had 200 INT return yards in one season, and he's also the holder of the record for the longest INT in NFL history, which is 107 yards. So if you know a football field, he must have intercepted it pretty deep in the end zone and run it back for a touchdown. But an amazing player. He's really well respected, probably one of the most well respected players by other players of his time. A smart NFL IQ, and a scary guy to have coming at you. Legendary safety. All right, moving on to number 3. At number 3, we have a guy that had a legendary career as well. Inducted in the Hall of Fame in 2008, and one of the most impressive things about him, he was in the league for 20 seasons and played all with the same team, and that is Daryl Green with the Washington football team. And he had a long career. He won 2 Super Bowls. And I was never a big fan of his because he played, you know, really well against my Falcons all the time. And he was, you know, considered the fastest man in the NFL for so many seasons. Really well respected guy in the league as well. 2 Super Bowls, 4 All-Pros. He had a record of 19 seasons in a row with at least one INT, which is amazing. And played in Washington during an era where, for some people that maybe newer to football, Washington was actually quite good for a long time, and you know he was one of the staples of those teams. But amazing player, and you know fantastic speed. Like I said, closing speed was amazing, and you know tremendous hands. And like I said, there's a reason he's in the Hall of Fame, and there's a reason he's at number 3. All right, we're getting into the nitty gritty here. We're at number 2. And coming in at number 2, and I think this is going to be, you know, always up for debate. And you know, you can always debate anything, and that's what the great thing about sports. But I have number 2, I have the legendary Ronnie Lott, who I would rank as the best safety of all time for sure. But number 2 in defensive backs of all time, Ronnie Lott played 14 seasons. He played with the Niners, the Raiders, and the Jets at the end. Was a Hall of Famer, inducted in the Hall of Fame class of 2000, won 4 Super Bowls, and was All-Pro 8 times. And when you talk about nightmares, I'm sure a lot of wide receivers and tight ends had nightmares of Ronnie Lott coming over the middle when there was a lot less, you know, focus on player safety. Ronnie Lott would decimate you if you came over the middle, and you would definitely think twice about, you know, coming over the middle, and at least coming over the middle and not protecting yourself to try and catch the ball. Ronnie Lott, legendary stories about this guy. There's a story that he dislocated his pinky or broke his pinky finger, and they told him he would have to have surgery, and he would miss some time, some games, and it was the tip of his pinky finger. So rather than miss games, Ronnie had them amputate it. So half of his pinky finger is missing because he didn't want to miss games. I mean, just one of the most well-respected, most well-thought-of players in offense, defense of all time in NFL history. Like I said, you know, scarier than Jason or Freddy Krueger was Ronnie Lott to wide receivers. And like I said, he played on some amazing teams. The 49ers had great teams, and he was one of the reasons why. Yeah, that's why he's number 2, Ronnie Lott. All right, that leaves us to number 1, the top defensive back from Banana Cooler of all time in NFL history is the legendary Dion Sanders. Now, Dion Sanders was drafted out of Florida State. You know, such a talented athlete. You could probably put him in the top 3 athletes of all time. You know, played football and baseball, was a track star in university as well. He had such a great career. You know, he was drafted by the Falcons, played for the 49ers, won the Super Bowl there. The next season he went to the Cowboys, won a Super Bowl that season with them. They put him playing wide receiver and DB at the same time for a couple seasons. Then he went to a Washington team when Daniel Snyder had just taken over, and you know, probably the worst time in his career. Then finished off as a Baltimore Raven. Dion had some foot problems that still plague him to this day, and had to retire a little bit early, but was inducted in the Hall of Fame, and you know, is widely thought of as the original shutdown cornerback. Now, a lot of people give him a lot of flack because they say he couldn't really tackle. Dion really didn't have a lot of interest in tackling, and didn't really have to tackle a lot because for quite a period in his career, quarterbacks wouldn't throw to his side. So imagine that, being such a good player that quarterbacks don't even want to test your side of the field. That really changes an offense for a team. He had 53 INTs, and he was the 1994 Defensive Player of the Year. Like I said, he won 2 Super Bowls and was an 8-time All-Pro. Played in the World Series as well as Super Bowl, only player to ever do that. Not that that makes him the best DB ever, but just shows you his skill. And Dion used to bait wide receivers. He play off them to try and get the quarterback to throw the ball his way and try and pick it off. So amazing player. Was a kick returner and a punt returner as well. And I think definitely can make an argument for one of the top players in NFL history, and that's why I have Dion primetime as the number 1 DB of all time. So thanks everybody for watching the video, and make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.